What's happening, y'all? You know what time it is. It's Monday. Welcome to the Lamar Show. All right. That's right. I'm taking over. Yeah, y'all wasn't ready. Y'all should have gave me something to read on or something.
The who show?
The Lamar Show. What's happening, y'all?
Lamar.
That's right. Go ahead.
That's who we are.
What show?
Lamar.
What show? Welcome Monday. Lamar Show, y'all. What's happening? How y'all feeling? How was y'all weekend? How y'all doing? As you can see, okay, you will find out later. I ain't gonna tell everything right now. But okay, you know who I am. So pass it on to my right.
Yo, Cameron's in the house. Hey, everybody.
And this is Terry. How are you guys doing today?
And we also have the incomparable.
You know it's me, Lady Melody.
Hi, y'all.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
That's what's up.
So, guess what today is?
What's today? Monday.
It is Monday. And so we're talking about whatever.
Whatever Monday.
Whatever comes to mind. If you would like to join in with us and talk about whatever's on your mind, the number here is 248-854-9850. So let's start off. Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
What's on your mind?
Superstar.
What's on my mind is wow.
I can do it. Wait, hold on.
Okay. What's on my mind is money.
Money?
Yeah.
Because
What about
my mind's on my money and my money's on my mind.
Say it. Say it.
Hey.
But you know what I think we should do is I think we should go back. Of course, not now, but one day. Take some clips back when we were talking about the stocks and certain stocks to get in. See how much they were then, and then bring up how much they are now, and see how much money people could have made if they would have listened to us.
Oh, I have a question. Are you guys into cryptocurrency?
Yes,
Yes.
we talked about
Yes.
that.
Y'all my people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you know about it?
A little bit.
A little bit. Which crypto?
There's so many now.
Oh, it sure is.
I got a
There's
new
so
one for
many
y'all.
now.
I got a new one. We're going to talk about it off the air, but it's good. It's really
That's
good.
right, off the air.
Off the air. Yes.
I like this one though.
Is that the symbol that's on it?
Yeah. XRP.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She said,
I heard that. Yeah.
I thought it was Wakanda.
It's a couple of them. I mean, you just it's very interesting. That's all I can say. In the least, it's really interesting. I'm really getting into it.
Well,
Yeah,
speaking of
there is
money,
a lot
how
to money.
comfortable are you all with your money? Like, as far as like, to me, some people are very secretive when it comes to money secrets or money or investing. You know, they like we said, we're gonna talk about it off the air. Some people just won't even share certain things. They'll just say, okay, let's go with crypto, or let's go with Bitcoin, let's go with this, but they don't tell you all the details in regards to it. What do you all think about that?
You know, I think it's well, in my experience, it's like if you offer too much information and then, you know, the people go in and they do what they do and they don't want to tell you when they've made money or whatever. And it was maybe, you know, you two came together, or whoever it was, the group of people came together and said, we're going to do this together. And they want to keep it a secret because they've made money or they've had success with it. And sometimes they just don't want you to get more than them or to know more than them. Or
The crab in the barrel.
That's a topic in
That's what I
itself. I
said.
guess that's what we need to talk about.
Yeah,
That's what I
sometimes
said.
it's a little strange.
irritating.
It is, and I think too that there are things that we need to teach our children about.
We
it
need to
because
teach them financial
we
literacy.
don't have. I mean, there are now a lot of different. Avenues that you could take for children learning how to invest early, because that's what happens with that, 1%. That they got their 3-year-olds already knowing how to. They don't even think about.
They normalize financial literacy.
Exactly.
It's not something that's taught. It's something that's practiced.
And
so
then, they already have a foundation for it. And because we do not, and we've been forced out, and we've been on a back burner, or we've been, not able to get into a lot of the, situations.
We just don't freaking listen.
Well,
we come from a culture where nobody wants to listen to anybody. If there are some people who do offer information, but then it's like, oh, he think he know everything. He a hater. He think and it'd be like, no, just because I'm coming to you with something different doesn't mean we have to be open to new things. Because even I know from my perspective, with my parents, when I started telling them about crypto, they're like, what? No, your money got to go in the bank, in the mattress, and all this stuff. And it's but you have to pay attention to what's going on in the world. That safety deposit box money is going to be obsolete in a minute, because if they decide that the way the economy going, they decide to get rid of all paper money, then you better have your money somewhere.
Going that way.
And it's not drawing any interest.
You're gonna have to burn it to keep your warm. But my reason be, when I don't go deep into details about telling people what to buy, or be because if it don't go the way that they expected, or the way that you said, you get blamed. They want you to pay for the loss, and it's just a lot of things that happen from there, huh?
I don't think so. I don't think that people want you to pay for it. Investing is taking a risk anyway. Just like I look at sometimes investing as gambling, and if you gamble, you're taking a risk of losing your money. And so, if you're going to invest enough to know that you may not get that money back.
And know that it takes time. People want instant. This is not the lottery. This is not the 4-digit. Even with that ain't even a good example. People want to they want instant money, and it doesn't work that way. So it's just. But
it can sometimes.
Yeah, it can. But so if you don't gamble, what you can't afford to lose.
Let me say this: everybody's looking for Mike. Mike's not here, but Mike's logged on. Hi, Mike. He says he's listening. What up, Mike? His signal's not good, so he was going to check in, but. Hi, Mike. Hey, we missed you.
What do you say? Let me know about it, too.
The investment that we were talking about earlier that we said we want to talk about off the air.
Okay.
But also, I want to say shout out to Groove Radio. We're also on Groove Radio as well. We had some listeners last week. We wanted to acknowledge them. So thank you, Groove Radio, for for listening. The people on the Groove Radio, thank you. And Podcastic and Switchplay. Okay, back to the show.
Yeah, so I really do believe that it starts early, because if you don't know how to even invest at all, anything, how to make the move, who to talk to, what to research, or you just don't have that information.
I think what you just said is the key word, though: research. Things are changing so much. Things are changing like this now.
Yep.
It's been in church. Glory to God. For years, they kept saying that it was going to be a shift. And so everybody was thinking, Jesus was going to come down from heaven, and that was going to be the shift. But that ain't the shift. The shift happened when, things happened last year with COVID and things kind of slowed down.
Exactly.
I think that was the shift, because it made people slow down and pay attention to what was the most important thing, like your family, your health. Your
side chick or your real chick.
Only
that's
you.
another show.
But yes, that is the truth.
Yeah, I was watching this special about celebrities who had their children training. They have camps and these schools that they go to learn how to invest and what to invest in and how to get the most out of the money, and they're not scared either. I think that's another
because they got the money not to be scared. If your parents got billions of dollars and say, "Well, here, Johnny, go play with it."
Right.
That's their reality. Okay, instead of you buying that purse, go ahead and.
Do we have a caller? It better be Mike.
Hi, caller. How are you?
I'm great. I want you to give me $100, and then I'm gonna give that $100 to 3 people, and if them 3 people give
Oh,
$100, get y'all in my it's
On
a
your
shoo-shoo
flower.
group.
A
In a
shoo-shoo
place. We
group.
gonna call it a flower. And
D Jones.
Hmm.
Where's the video you supposed to edit?
What's happening, man? What up,
what
dude?
up, though?
Where's the video
love
you supposed to edit?
Huh?
Where's the video you supposed to edit?
What you say?
His
We love you,
earpiece
D.
going out.
Jones.
His earpiece going out.
I'm trying to get y'all in my group.
No, but D Jones, for real, are you investing? Do you invest?
I'm trying to go a different route with my investing. Like, I'm putting money in people, kind of like Warren Buffett. So if you got an idea, I'm trying to invest. No, seriously, I'm not lying.
Okay, we
I'm trying
listen.
yeah. I'm working like people who throw different events. I'm trying to put my money in every other event. So I have money
okay.
coming in different ways.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Hey, are you in a sperm bank? It sounds like I hear people in the background
I'm at Ruby Tuesday.
telling you it's your, huh?
I'm at Ruby Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
I thought they
I thought
closed.
she was saying something else in the
I'm in
background.
Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah,
thanks for
yeah.
viewing from
yeah,
Atlanta.
you be careful, man.
Check that Adams apple.
What you got coming up, D
I'm-
Jones?
I'm shooting a movie out here,
Oh, that's what's
and I
up.
got a movie premiere on the 2nd. On the 3rd of October, on the 29th and the 30th. So
Gia,
I'll give y'all some tickets.
All right,
That's what's up.
congratulations.
Appreciate that, man.
You can come on the show and give some away to the audience as well, since you're giving us tickets as well. So come on, when you come back, we'll talk when you come back. So have a great time in Atlanta.
Definitely, I love you guys.
love you
you
too,
too.
man. Big up to the movies, man. What's
Yeah,
up?
congratulations. Do it.
Wonderful.
Do it.
Wonderful.
He always do it big. You know that.
Yes.
A lot of people
Bye,
doing
D.
these
Jones.
movies too, man. A lot of people doing these movies.
I'm gonna tell y'all real quick though. It's funny. Like I got to be involved in something for the last 2 weekends. It's very interesting how people come up with their themes for their movies and how they shoot and what their dream is. And I just think it's wonderful.
Yeah, some people tell you LSD. What have you heard?
Well, they actually told me that they prayed hard on it,
Okay.
and it was
I
covered,
told
and they
you I had some of my teeth.
Whoa, god damn. You ain't get it. It's moving down.
I had a green smoothie, so
Woo, look
Well,
like
the Bible
some
always
green. Definitely like
says,
some green.
the tropical green smoothie thing.
Write the vision down and make it
That saw me
plain. So,
smiling. I'm like, what is that on my teeth? Okay.
so
Sorry,
whenever
y'all,
you're
you know.
doing anything, I think everything in life is about execution. It starts in your mind, you write it down, and either you execute it or either it stays a dream. So, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what the word
you gotta
says.
manifest
Write the
that
vision
dream.
down.
Yeah.
You gotta
do
believe that
something.
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but you got to do something to make it happen too.
Yeah, that's the journey.
So do y'all think that money is the root of all evil?
No.
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 There's
People
money
are
make
the
you
root of
happy.
all evil.
No.
No.
Money don't make you happy
It
Might
can make
make you
it can make you
temporarily.
Make you comfortable.
it can make you smile.
I'm gonna say this too. I mean, there's people who have had, well, you can see it, millions of dollars, and they're still, they building these houses, and and they got all these kind of cars, and at the end of the day, you look at the news, and they committed suicide, or their kids have, overdosed, or So I don't think it makes you. I think you make you happy, and then money helps, to maintain it. But if you're not happy in your life and with who you are,
I just think you need balance.
Balance.
You have to have balance because that's like a lot of people are like, why am I not rich? You're not rich because if God gave you $1 million, you would kill yourself. I've heard so many people say, if I had $1 million, the first thing I'm gonna do is go get me some hoes, get me some drugs, and just go party. That's not what money is for. It is to be enjoyed,
I
but
heard that.
you must not have ever been around people who have been white boy wasted. I deal with a lot of different people,
Understandable.
and I'm around people who have a lot of money, so they just think differently. And when you're used to it, like you were saying, especially when you don't earn it, it don't mean nothing to
Exactly.
you.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
That's why you got the rich kids committing suicide, because they didn't earn it. It's their mother and father's money, and it doesn't mean anything to them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, hey, I can go sniff it up my nose or do whatever I want to do.
And they're
instead
unhappy. They're
Yeah.
unhappy, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they don't see a value in themselves. So you can hand it to them however you want, and they can still be, just as sad.
Yeah, it's just like a car.
lonely,
You don't value anything you don't work for. To me,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If I give you a BMW, it won't mean nothing to you. But if I work for a hoopty and I put my money together, and I know I had to save for months and months and months to get this hoopty, even though it 4 wheels, I'm gonna value it better than I am somebody giving me something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where I think one of the mishaps is in today's society. People want to say, I don't want my kids to have to struggle. I don't want them to go through what I went through. But what you went through was what made you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
The journey.
Amen.
That pain.
What you think about that, Lamar?
Amen.
Pain to make you move. It will. It makes you make decisions that you probably wouldn't have made because you feeling this instinct to move forward out of it, out of the pain, out of the.
What's some pain that made you move?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna
We'll
tell
put
you.
that fire up under you. We'll put that fire up under you.
Talking about opening the butt.
Let me say this. So this year, I had an accident at work.
Uh-oh.
I had back surgery just 2 months
my
ago.
God,
Yeah,
really?
2.5 months ago, 3 months ago now. A whole back surgery. I had COVID. My son had COVID. My 8-year-old had COVID. My husband had COVID. Oh, it was a mess.
Wow.
Okay, let me tell you something about some pain. All right, and this is not to say that you always need it to make you move, but it will challenge you to say, what is going on that I'm drawing all this to me? And I have to make some decisions on what I need to do with my life, because it's so, you just don't have any control over that part. You pray and you move through life and you love and you do all of this and you say, okay, where are my priorities? What am I going to do with me? And if you don't go through some of that stuff, you don't value it. Like we were just saying, you don't value what you feel like is owed to you. Like you don't know if you'll get up tomorrow. I make plans all the time, next week, next month, but I have no idea if I'm going to be there. So it makes you say, okay, well, let me try it. Well, some things that happen to you make you say, let me try to live my best today. Yeah. I have a problem with staying in the present because I think a lot about the past and what I did and what I could have done better and where I could be, in relation to what I'm doing now. But it pushed me to say, all of that just happened, pushed me to say, I'm going to do something that I'm scared to death of doing, but I wanted to do, always wanted to do. And I said, what is that? And I had to search, myself for a second and say, maybe I'll try entertainment. I always wanted to try to do something in entertainment. And it's funny because that's the most rejection field that you probably could go into. But that was my big fear. That's why I never, really tried.
So basically what you are saying is she took her pain and she turned it into her power. And now she is Supergirl.
I'm
Conquering the fear.
That's right.
Conquering fear and the limitations that you put on yourself in your head. Am I worthy? Because that's another thing that keeps coming up. Am I worthy? Can I really do
you
this?
Better preach.
Can I do it?
Right.
And you keep testing yourself and you say, you know what? I'm going to just do it. How about that?
So what's some pain that moved you?
Who, me? Who, me? It's already me.
Right. She said what moved her already.
I have always been a person that has really deep faith. So in my life, no matter what happened, I know who my source is. Mm-hmm. I know who my source is. I can say, testify. About 5 years ago, I remember I couldn't feel anything from the neck down for like 3 months.
Wow.
And they didn't know what was wrong with me. I was going back and forth to the doctor. I couldn't drive. I couldn't work. Nothing. And it was crazy. And I was like, Lord, you know, what's up?
They don't know what to tell you.
They didn't know. So when I couldn't use my arms would just like go flat. But I didn't tell anybody. So my mother told me, she said, be quiet. And I was like, what? Because, you know, the first thing we want to do when something happens in our lives, we want to go tell everybody, girl, let me tell you what happened to me. And let me tell you, you got to not do that, because people are people. But just because they say they're your friends and even some of your family, they don't always mean you good.
Yeah, it's true.
And so sometimes you just got to shut your mouth and you just got to go through it alone. Because some birds learn how to sing in the dark, and they come out singing a beautiful song. And so I didn't say anything. I just prayed, and I said, I got in my word. I was already in my word, but I got in there real good. And I remember the lady when I finally got to see a neurologist, she said, you have multiple sclerosis. And she said, and you're going to have to quit your job, and you're going to be paralyzed and take medication for the rest of your life. And I looked her in her face and I said, the devil is a lie, because God did not call me to that. Right. So that was over 5 years ago, and I ain't in no wheelchair. And I went back to work that week. But I think
Hallelujah.
for me and for all of us, because God is no respecter of persons.
That's right.
You decide. When you wake up in the morning, you decide what you gonna do. You decide, I like food, I like chocolate. But it's my decision if I'm gonna eat that chocolate. It's my decision if I'm gonna, whatever goes on in my life, it's a decision. And I don't think that my decisions are fueled by pain. I think my decisions are fueled by knowing that I can do it. And the only person that I'm in competition with is me.
That's right.
I don't have any outside competition. I'm my own competition. I got to get up and overcome the things in my mind that tell me that I can't. And I got to reprogram my mind and do the things and make it from a I can't to a I can. So again, reprogram, yes. So I think that turns your pain into power, because you have to make a decision that's not what you want to do. And it's a process.
And be brave
it's
about
a process.
it. Yep.
Everybody can't. I mean, because I've been in spaces, sometimes you got to remind yourself who you are.
Yes,
you got to,
do.
you know,
Ooh,
you got to
you
remind yourself, who are you, Mufasa? You know.
That is true.
What about you, man?
Well, my pain was, to me, experiencing the hardest pain of my life was actually going through a divorce. And being
I check.
right. And being a single mom. And, you know, that was kind of hard for me. And, that was my pain.
And it made you better? How?
It made me better by realizing that life happens. Life happens, and we have to continue to live and not dwell into what ifs and what happened and why this and why that.
You ain't know you was that strong, did you?
Yeah, I did know that.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, because her mama told her.
That's right. I just had to actually go through it. And so, hey, here I am. I'm on top.
That's right.
You got to go through it to get to it, and look
That's
at
right.
you. You're shining like you a superstar.
Shining like a diamond.
No matter who you are.
Shine bright like a diamond.
All right, my brother. Hey!
That's right.
What's your pain?
What's your pain that you turned into power?
This is my show. Don't worry about that. Hey, look. So,
We always do that. Always do
next
that.
thing.
Okay.
See, never answer.
Y'all want to know what I predict in the future?
You said what?
Y'all want to know what I predict for the future?
Predicted, brother.
Guys is going to be having sex with robots.
They already are.
Yeah, already.
I don't
They
think
do
so.
that.
Oh, they doing that already?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Because what's happening in the world is they're trying to annihilate the human race. They want us to not be able to reproduce. So if you have a sex doll, you can't reproduce with that. If you are same sex, you cannot reproduce. They don't want us to be able to reproduce. I don't know what mad scientist is in the middle, but they just don't want us to reproduce.
We're going to be extinct.
What we going to do about that?
Well, you got some though.
Go inside the matrix.
We already here.
Or continue to
We are already
procreate
here.
until it happens. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Not me. Yeah, not me, but the younger folks.
I feel for the younger people because it ain't nothing like the human touch. I'm sorry.
I agree.
Can't no doll, no
I don't know when that
frick,
happened,
no
though,
frack,
but-
and can't no AAA battery.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look back
Mess
at this
with the human touch.
episode.
I'm telling you.
Because it's like she giving some faces to the camera.
I'm talking to people because
is.
people need to know that. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody. You did whatever's good for the goose is good for whatever. But personally, it's just nothing like human interaction. That's just like with social media. People hide behind the keyboard and say what they want to say, but they won't have real conversations with people.
Exactly.
We got to get back to being one-on-one and
Yes.
interacting with each other and stop hiding.
These children don't know, though. They have no idea. Some of the conversations that I listen to and the things that they talk about are so removed from each other, from a personal experience. It's like,
But do you think it's the fault of the parents?
No.
Because the parents are not really being parents these days.
no, I don't. I think it is the way the world is going, because you've got parents.
But you don't have to consult. You don't have to. What do you call it? Absorb what's going on in the world. You could still be your own individual.
You should be, but a lot of that isn't taught or practiced. So
It's not taught because that's what I asked before. Because
Yeah.
of the parents.
Well, all of that came, if you want to go back, is from the breakdown from the black family.
Yeah.
Or the family unit, period. Because when a man and a woman first initially got together, the way it was designed was it was going to be a man and a woman, and they were going to get married and have babies, but it didn't work out that way. And then in society, if we go back to the days of Malcolm X, they started breaking down, especially the black family.
That's
They
right.
started
That's
saying,
right.
okay, we will give you assistance, but there can't be
You
a
can't be
man in the
house.
household.
Yep.
So then that man had to leave because he's trying to do what's best. They separated the families.
That's it.
And they've been doing it for years.
They have, and it look what
But we
happened.
let them. When we gonna stop?
Well, unfortunately, we live in a world now where children raise children.
That's right.
There is no more moral fabric. You go on Instagram, you can see everything. You're not getting paid for it. You getting likes for it. It's just systematic prostitution and
it is.
exploitation, and people can't see it because the younger generation, they just like, oh, I can just show you everything, and then one day you're gonna be 30, girl. And then one day you're gonna have children, and you're not gonna. Oh, I was making my money. Really?
Yeah, and that's why I said I don't believe it's necessarily the parents, because even outside of the parents can only do so much, and they only know so much, and they can give you what they have.
Well,
No. The fact is that this is all of our first time being here that we know of, and
my
everybody
mom wasn't no joke, so I wasn't doing
still
nothing.
learning.
Yeah.
And
So-
that's the thing. So with them giving you what they know, at that point, when the kids go outside of you, hopefully they retain it. But there are a lot of people out here who mean harm, and they will, try to talk your teachings into something else. And
But
I
the point I was
they have
trying to make
have-
is they took that woman out of the household. Women want to go work. Your role as a woman, I don't care what nobody says, you're supposed to be at home and raising your children. And when we wanted to get liberated and go to work, that's when the breakdown came in the home. So in a way, it is the parents' fault.
It is.
But
is.
in
I
a
don't
way,
think
it's
totally
not,
their fault.
because now you got all these single women who are working and trying to do what they have to do to. I was a single parent.
I am too.
I was
mean,
married. I was married. I got divorced. I didn't know it was going to end up that way. You could have never told me in a million
Exactly.
years it was
Right.
going to happen, but it did.
Right.
And then what did I do? I had to go to work. But before then, I was a stay-at-home wife. I stayed at
done that
home,
as
but I
well.
wasn't going to stay at home and you do what you think you going to do because you making the money.
Yeah,
So-
but it happens, and then sometimes you do what I'm saying is that you do the best you can as a parent. You do everything that you can do if you have parents like that. But there are a lot of people out here, and I'm only saying that because I'm watching it.
It's the
that
moral
aren't
fabric is different.
Yeah, and it's amazing when you look at it, because it's like, wow, you don't even know what you're doing, what you're saying, what you're not saying, what you're not helping with.
Because nobody's teaching them.
Nobody's connected, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's parents But it can't be all the parents' fault because of the fact that you have so many outside sources. When a kid walks outside the door, you just pray that everything that you've taught them sticks with them. But there are so many other forces that are out here that will, grab your kids and, make them think a certain way. So, I mean, you can install as much, faith in them and trust and knowledge as you can. And then you have to let them go into the world with what you've given them and pray that they
like you
use
said,
it.
the age of accountability is 12, and so you have to be accountable for yourself. So the only
That's
thing you
right.
can do, but what my problem is your kids make choices. Stop throwing your kids away. And when I say that, you got so many households. Well, you 16, you gotta go. Or your kid make a mistake and you just kick them out and you cuss them out and you dog them.
Leave it.
But part of the reason why the kids are doing what they're doing is because they have a bunch of hurt parents, and the hurt parents are hurting their kids because you got that woman who was hurt by the man, and then the little boy, little Pookie, he looked like his daddy. So now you gonna grow up, you ain't gonna be shit. So now you told him that since he was a little kid, so he grow up and he's not. So it always goes back to people need counseling, people need to be healed, and people need to look in the mirror and they need to check themselves and check their mouth.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's the perception of what you think as well. Because if you believe that you're not worthy, then you let people treat you certain ways.
Because your parents, you are taught by your parents who you are supposed to be. And if your parent is dogging you and then they send you out into the world, then they gonna treat, and then it's like it's a vicious cycle.
It
so
is.
if your parent is dogging you and then you get out in the world and they dogging you, so you just be like hopeless, like dang, I just don't got. What you think, brother? You might be quiet over there.
I was
Yeah,
about
I was
to
just
ask
saying.
you something because I was about to ask, because a lot of the black men, because they have it so hard
That covering.
and what's going on, what say you? Because the black men got so many things that's going on with them, not being there for not all of them, not being there for their children, just being black in America right now, and then just trying to sustain a job, and provide for their family. What say you? What say you?
About the situation.
Correct.
It's deeper than the physical.
That's right.
And,
That's
and
right.
It's all kinds of wars that's being taking place, wars that we can't see, wars that's on a
Spiritual.
higher
Spiritual level.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So, and a lot of things that's happening was written to happen.
Right.
And a lot of our ancestors knew this was going to happen, and they tried to prepare little things and help us out with little things along to the way for us to find, like
the breadcrumbs.
Yeah. But at the same time, they try to stir you away from the breadcrumbs and make you think it's evil. But it's up to you to research, and dig deep to see if it's the truth or not. As far as like the kids and the parents, is well, like I said, it's like you gotta teach the kid. It's not just on the physical. You gotta teach the kid the physical things of life, and you gotta make them strong spiritually and mentally.
That spiritual
That's
ain't
spiritual.
no joke.
Yes, that's
Not. You're right.
And the spiritual is not religion.
It's not. It's your source.
It's
your
knowing
source.
that you are
energy in your
I always tell people, I've had people tell me you're not, everything is a lie. The bottom line is you are inside of yourself and you look outside of
That's
yourself.
right.
If you put your hand in front of your face, you are in there. It is a spirit. So don't ever let nobody tell you that lie that it ain't no spirit, because you are a
Right.
spiritual being.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
And it's exercises you have to do with that spiritual being to strengthen that spirit within.
Such as, give us an example of what we need to do.
Read the word, meditate.
The word.
Meditation, breathing.
But when he say meditate, though, you need to meditate on the word.
Right.
Because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And the Word was
that.
manifested into flesh, and his name was Yahweh.
I ain't gonna say the name. That get you into
Okay,
some
wait,
things
wait,
right
you won't
there.
say the name.
Please don't, because
You know what? I'll say it, Jesus, because I ain't scared of nobody, and I can say what I want to say. Okay.
Now, what do you say towards them saying, or what I researched?
I'll go here.
Go ahead.
The J only goes so far back.
I believe that.
But the why?
So how you gonna call him G?
I mean, that's what
Yahweh.
most people know him as. I know Yahweh.
Okay.
Yeah, I said Yahweh first.
Right, she did.
And then I
She
said
did,
Jesus. I said AKA Jesus. 'Cause, you know.
Okay.
But I don't know what his name is. All I know is when I call on him, he comes.
That's right. That's right.
And but one thing he did say is that we are gods ourselves.
That's right.
But a lot of people don't want to
Yep.
face that part or listen to that part.
That's right.
And he said, even during the time when he was doing his miracles, we was all at all. But he said we gonna be doing things that's even better than that.
Exactly.
So what are those things, y'all?
Those things are modern medicine. Those things are right here in front of us. We want to, have signs and wonders and people jumping out the sky. That ain't what it is. It's technology. It's all the things that we have done.
Evolved.
Right, we've
Yes.
evolved.
Yeah.
But we got to acknowledge them. We got to acknowledge that we need to be plugged into our source.
And if we are not, we are a mess.
See, I had a debate. Well, it wasn't really a debate. It was I was talking with a family member of mine who basically said that God wrote the Bible, and another relative, they were going back and forth, and this is a lot of times why people don't. I told them, I said, don't talk about religion to certain people because you just.
You can't agree to
cursed
disagree.
out.
Right,
The bottom
'cause you
line
can't-
is neither one of y'all was there, so don't nobody know. So
Exactly. And that's exactly what I said. And I said, you can't force your beliefs on somebody because of what you believe, and you have to have people have their own opinion, and that's they're entitled to have their own opinion. And this is why I said, you cannot. Basically, said God wrote the Bible, and we don't practice it. This is what he said. And I believe it, but we don't practice the 10 Commandments. We all gonna die. Well, I don't believe all that. Well, let me just. I'm quoting what he said. If we don't, God gave these commandments, and we're supposed to practice these commandments. Yes, understandably, but then he also said that the person that he was debating with said that, okay, so if I practice these commandments, why are people still dying? Or also, if God loves everybody, why is he sending you to hell? So it was just like,
Ooh,
oh,
they was ugly. They was getting in a real debacle.
Yes.
And
so I was just like, you know what?
Where's the grace and where's the mercy?
Exactly.
Where's the grace and where's the mercy? Because the bottom line is we are all given grace and mercy each and every day. And he gives it to us so that we can look at that and say, we got grace and mercy today, so let me be graceful,
And
gracious, and
grateful.
merciful to my
Yep.
brothers and sisters. People need to stop.
Stop.
Just like Spike
Just
Lee,
love
wake
everybody.
up!
Let's just love everybody. How about
Right.
that?
Check yourself.
I mean, because we all are so wrong, and I think that's the reason why churches have such a ugly, because people put past. I grew up in church, and I never really believed that church hurt was real until it happened to me.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't, but
If you don't
You
mind,
said
do you
church
want to
hurt?
talk about that? Your church hurt?
I mean, my church
Church
hurt.
hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Was simple. I went to a big church. I was in ministry, and I was dedicated to the ministry. Every day I was there. Whatever they needed, I was there. My father got sick, and when my father got sick, they were like, I asked him to put him on the prayer list, and every week I would go. He was never on the prayer list. And then when I called, they were like, well, is your father a member? I'm a member. My mother's a member. My sister's a member. No, my father's not a member because my father went to his own church. But so I told him, I said, I didn't know you had to be a member to get prayer.
Right.
Right.
Because
Right.
I've never heard of that.
Right.
So then when my father got sick and we had to make decisions for him, I had to choose. The Bible say, choose ye this day whom you gonna serve.
Come on now.
And I chose my family. because ministry starts at home.
Right.
So I chose my mother, my father, my family, and I had to go in this direction because they need me. My parents are older. They need me, and I have to be there for them. So I couldn't run to the church house every 5 minutes like I was before. And then it was like they got angry at me because I wouldn't. I got to take care of this.
Okay.
And then once I kind of, backed up, I saw that I was a single mother and I was in church every time the doors open, and I should have been spending that time with my son. So, we look at the world like, okay, we have to watch our children in the world. You got to watch your children in the church.
Oh, for sure.
Because,
Say that
you
again.
you got my son, personally, he got turned off from church because he was like, Mom, we go to church, and in the church, they're idolizing these kids like little Bobby, so-and-so, they're so this, that, and other. He was like, they cussing more than me. They going off. My son didn't even curse. And then a situation happened with him. He went on a missions trip. He came back. They got, how the teens get in their little group. And they were saying some stuff in this group. And he came to me and was like, Mom, they saying some rude and disrespectful stuff. So we went to a...
I used to love them trips, boy.
We went on this.
Some things to happen.
Yeah,
When he came
nice
back,
trips.
they were saying all this mess, and they tried to blame my son because he wasn't the one that went to church with them all their life, so they getting in trouble. So let's point the finger at them. No, boo boo, you ain't gonna never come from mine.
Right.
So I told him, I said, oh, since you want to say names, I'm gonna tell you whose child said it. I know who said it. And so after I had the conversation I had, they left him alone, and that was the end of it. But don't try to blame. So it's cliques in church. It's bull crap in church.
It is.
And preachers need to address these things and stop putting things under the rug, and stop acting like, and even with preachers' kids, they act like their kids, they the worst ones. They be doing everything under the sun.
And see, and that, to me, that's
It's like, be real.
right. And a lot of pastors and preachers and ministers and deacons, whoever they are in the church, they're not being real with themselves. It's like, and they gossip, just telling everybody's business and things like that. Church is supposed to be the hospital where you go and you get your help. It's not. It's not where
and
you
maturity.
Just, right. And it's to me it's crazy.
It is.
How y'all feel about the ATMs in the church?
There is no ATM.
They putting ATMs in church, and if it's like you got to have a certain credit with the church to be a member.
I know
they
have
part.
credit unions and stuff like that. But to my understanding, like church has
it's become
evolved.
a business.
That's exactly what I was about to say. It has evolved into a business to where that's why there's a lot of hurt within the church, and a lot of people say, okay, you're quote unquote Christian. No, I don't even identify with that, with Christianity and all that, because
I'm a believer.
Exactly. Because of what the church is doing and what the church has done.
And it's turning people away.
Right. Because, they said back in the day, as far as, and I'm not pointing out any specific religion or, beliefs and things like that, but they said certain pastors in the Baptist church, they rated back in the day, okay, the Baptist people, they smoked after church. They're not supposed to do this. They're not supposed to do that. The Pentecostals did this and they did that. It was just like, to me, it's like, it's so many different things. We just supposed to love everybody. It's, all this little, who did this, who did that. Fix it.
Acknowledge that everybody is human, and start frying chicken after church, because them chicken dinners was everything back in the day.
No, we used to have heaven and hell parties.
Huh?
For real, we used to have.
What?
What is that?
I ain't never heard that.
I went to I didn't get saved till I was an adult, but I used to go to my granny's church, and my granny used to have heaven and hell parties. They have heaven and hell, not parties, but heaven and hell. It was a party. So all the children that was in the church, we would all go in the basement. And it's like, either we going to heaven or we going to hell.
Oh.
Heaven was...
What kind of cult was that?
Who went to hell?
In hell, we had
You going to hell?
and hell
Right.
you had spaghetti and chicken and
Oh,
all that. And in
wow.
heaven you had like the better foods. You know, it was
Healthy.
What, vegetables?
food. It was a food party. Like that's what the heaven
Well,
hell
I
was.
think everybody was going to hell because there wasn't nobody turning down Mother Deacon's
Hell was
fried
packed that day, huh?
Oh my sweet potato
That's
pie
funny.
in hell. All
Oh
that,
my
all the-
God.
all the
I have
soul
never heard of
food.
that.
Yes.
And I've been around a long time, but I've never heard that one.
Yeah, we
that's
did.
that's
We did. Yep.
different. Yeah, it's different.
Missionary Baptist Church.
That
girl.
went out there.
And some of them missionaries was in mission. Hey, glory. But I think one of my biggest issues what happened in church too. Even churches destroy families because a lot of people were trying to come to God and they were judging them so badly. Like, you can't do this with your husband, and and you can't do that, and you can't do this. Stop it.
Because the pastor was doing that with the with that wife's with
With the husband's wife. and
So
the older women in the church. I always thought when I was younger, like, when you get old, you get so smart. And then now I know that it's some old bitter ass bitch.
Right.
And
That's what my thought was. Like all the women of the older
the
women of the
elders and
church,
stuff. Yeah.
you never see them with husbands. It's like, what was wrong? Like, you get old and you never have a husband.
He died.
Like, what
She
what
poison.
happened? Like, why is the women living more than the men? Like, what's going on? So it was a lot of stuff just was questionable for
Because
me.
we cannot be so religious. People get into. I ain't gonna lie. I will raise my left hand, my right hand. I used to be religious, and God had to work on me because everything I said that I would never do because those people over there did it, I did it. And I did it well. But and
Like what?
wouldn't you like to know? But
They want to know.
But I would be honest, because I used to be over a singles ministry, and when people would come and talk to me, I would be honest, and I would share with them, and I would be honest.
What did you
People
used to tell
love-
the singles? Because of course the singles, their main issue was
They were single and they wanted to get married, and then half of them.
they wanted to have sex. That's
Yeah,
what
but
it was,
the
to
messed
get
up
married
part
and have sex.
was the brothers
So-
in the church that was single didn't really want to come to the singles ministry because they already had them a piece outside the church. They was already getting them some. And then you got the sisters up in the church with their legs crossed, sitting there with the little skirt over their legs, talking about hallelujah, salvation. And
You gotta
then
wait.
that part.
And
You
then
gotta
you gotta
wait.
wait. And then you have people jumping into
I'm a
marriages,
woman.
quickly because they want to have sex. And it's like, yeah, you got to get married. But I think that the church, I didn't think they did a very good job of that because I felt as a single mother like I was ostracized. Like,
Yes.
I was like, what the what? I mean, why am I being ostracized?
Because you don't know my situation. They think because you're a single mom or being titled as a single mom, you was never married and you had a
You're having
child,
sex.
But
wedlock, that kind of stuff.
But I was married. But my point was, and I had to be real with that because one day this girl came to me. She was crying. She was like, "'Cause I wasn't married when I had my son like you." Where I looked at her, I was like, "Girl, the baby came before the marriage. We're gonna keep it real because I'm not a liar. I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend to be something that I'm not."
My baby came in the marriage, so I
was
my
living
whole
with him
point
for
was-
5 years, and then we got caught up.
Right, I was living with him too before we got
But
married.
at least you got the ring, so.
But the point is,
But I
like,
told the truth.
It's a lot of cover up, and to me, do you think it's more of a cover up in the black church because we are?
No,
part of
it's
the black
in the
church because
Caucasian church too, because
Yeah.
the church I went to was a Caucasian church. Them, I mean, even in the Christian private schools, them little girls be hot. The pastor's daughters be hot. No pun intended. If it don't apply to you, don't hold on to it. But they be getting it in. You would think like, oh my gosh, this is a Christian school. They be getting it in and doing stuff that just like they're kids. They're
So,
normal kids.
Why do you think, like, I've witnessed where if in the church a woman got pregnant out of wedlock, she's like,
Ostracized.
yeah, she a hoe, she's ostracized, whatever. I can't say that word right now. But if a man got a woman pregnant outside of he he's not married. He just got a woman pregnant. It's like
he made a mistake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
because you can't see it. You know, with us, we gonna get pregnant. We gonna,
That's a double standard.
It is.
Again.
It's horrible.
It is.
But if you really look at the religion, the woman get pushed back a lot in the religion anyway.
Yeah.
And the man
They say that
this,
was
the man
because of
that,
Eve.
the man.
That was because of Eve, they said.
That wasn't
You
her
can't
fault
this, you
because
can't
she bit the apple, but he had a choice. God
True.
would have made him
True.
another woman. He didn't say she the only one, and she probably would have been better than her. But he made a choice because he for whatever reason, because we weren't there and we never will be there.
Exactly.
But I wanted to go into ministry. I did. I wanted to go into ministry, and I was told I couldn't because I was divorced.
Oh,
What?
In a certain church, because you're divorced, but a woman can. But it was another woman in the church who had a baby out of wedlock, and then she did get married to somebody, but she can become a pastor, but I couldn't because I was. It's so many double standards and just so much malarkey.
For a minute, a woman couldn't preach, right?
I'm sorry.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
they could.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking
But
about.
the women been preaching since slavery.
Yeah.
Yes, because we was the ones that held it together. Because when Jesse got sold off. Oh, sorry.
I can see you playing a good one of them characters in the movie.
Yeah, right. I think a lot of times too, a lot of churches, they have these designer religions where
What does that mean?
it's like, well, I have this kind of house and we
Oh,
have
girl.
this kind of car and we dress this type of way and this is the way you should, it's like they carry the religion like a designer purse,
Like a banner.
like a designer purse. Oh well, I am the pastor's wife. I'm first lady, and and it's like, and it's kind of a
That can be condescending.
Like, nice to meet you, I'm
Yes.
Nicole. I understand, at one point I did have to repent one time because I did tell the pastor, you put your pants on just like I do.
That ain't nothing to repent about. Because
That surely is
my
not.
mama told the pastor at our church, they told us they couldn't wear no makeup. My mama said, me and all these women in here, we need a little help. Because we ain't no spring chickens. And I'm going to wear my foundation and my lip gloss.
That's right.
No makeup in the church.
Holding the church, honey.
Yeah, it's so.
I
Yeah,
grew up
that
in the
was like
China,
the
nah.
whole- You couldn't wear no fingernail polish,
No
no
pants.
makeup, no pants. Yeah, I know. Oh, I understand that. But I guess it came in where the, back in the day, as far as women staying at home, they stayed at home and wore dresses, and they never wear. You never saw them in pants. So it's still that it's that back in the day kind of thing, and they do say history repeats itself. So we see the lashes and the wigs and stuff come back.
Well, I wish the skirts coming down past your knees would come back.
I actually like them. Just a little past my knees, but it's the
I'm
pencil
saying-
A-line skirts,
I'm saying, like,
But
I
I'm
went to the
wearing-
store, and I'm not a hater because I used to be a size 2, and I like my curves, so get it understood. But
too, me
I was
too.
at the store earlier, and the little girl had panties on, and I was like, she got on panties. She was standing in line, and she was.
Wait.
I know what you're saying.
She had on those Spanx. They used to have the Spanx to come down mid-thigh, but she had them rolled up and made them look like panties. And I was just looking like, and she's with her mother, and I was looking at her mother like, if that was my daughter, I'd be like,
And see, that's the thing, parent. I don't understand. I just don't understand. These parents are not. It's like they're letting them
Like
grow
they
up
scared
too
of their
fast.
kids.
They're letting them grow up too fast. They're letting them be their friend instead of them
Their
being
parent,
their parent.
you have a daughter, right? When you buy her clothes, don't they make the clothes like they little grown people clothes?
No, I used to tell my daughter, because we're a little blessed in the back, so. She used to always want to wear like jogging pants and stuff like. No, we're not doing that because your booty gonna shake, and we don't want that. You don't want certain attention brought to certain areas that stick out a little more. Than
You're not
usual.
mature enough to
Right,
handle.
exactly, and then
Yeah, because them grown men to be looking
right,
at your
and
junk
then
in your
they
trunk
have,
to get.
like she used to walk. She used to play tennis as well, and so she was like, "Mommy, this man used to just stare at me." And I said, "And see how that made you feel uncomfortable? So you should not do certain things to bring attention to yourself. I understand, you're growing and things like that, but we don't do that. We're ladies.
Yeah.
Let's act.
That's what I missed, but they need to start having them etiquette classes again.
We just did. Well, I'm involved with the Girl Scouts because my daughter's a Girl Scout, and they did. They had the etiquette classes.
But why does we have to have a category of groups? Why can't
They need to have it in school.
mothers come together?
Because
Right.
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of these
We used
mothers,
to actually have home ec in school.
Yeah,
And teach
learn
us how to cook.
That's
all
my
that stuff. These girls cannot cook.
and they nasty.
That too. Yeah. No cooking, no cleaning. Yeah.
it
But they lashes on fleek.
True that.
well,
True
yeah, the focus is in a whole nother area.
So,
and it's sometimes it can be sad. You look at some of the because of the fact that we're girls in the Girl Scouts view, and we see a lot of different things that you want your daughter to be representative of, and you want them to learn like the etiquette classes. We thought that was just the cutest thing because there's just it seems like they're not making room for that. It's like, it's old fashioned, or why do you do that? Why are you doing that? Why are you but it is still, we're still, I hate to say it like that, but we're still women. We want to be feminine. You still want to have some, qualities
Mystery.
that you want to have some value in being feminine and being, lady. You want to have some of that left.
What's really hurtful to me, though, is that the young girls think they have to have plastic surgery at 18. I'm looking in these magazines. If you are a young girl and you haven't developed yet, a woman doesn't come into her complete body until she is 25 sometimes, or after she has her first child. So give yourself a chance to grow up. What other thing that bothers me, I see little bitty girls now, 10 years old with full lace fronts. Why? They have it in ponytails
I love the
and
braids,
stuff.
but I haven't seen.
They have the lace fronts and they look like a little girl hairstyle. And I'm like, what the what?
Oh.
I saw it on Instagram and I was like, why would you put all that on her head? Your head was meant so your scalp can breathe.
Oh,
That's why you need
God.
braids to let your scalp breathe.
Exactly.
Back in the day, our mothers used to sit us down in between their legs and oil our scalp.
Yes, they did.
And massage our
scratch it,
scalp. Nowadays, they don't do that anymore.
Because a lot of them don't even want to do their child's hair because the child is always crying or something, and they don't have the patience to sit there and and do their hair.
It's called being a mother.
Exactly.
It's something different with I haven't seen the lace fronts, but I've seen some really, grown up, mature
Weave.
and you know what I think half of that is cultural, because we as Black women, we hide our hair a lot. Because the society is just like, oh, well, you can't wear that kind of hairstyle. It's getting better now. But before it was like, oh, well, you can't wear that. You can't have your hair like this. And it was kind of oppressive with our natural hair, showing the way that it grows out of our head is bad. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, I can't wear it like this, but that's the way it grows out of your head. But we've been taught to change it, to mask it, to hide it any way we can, with the perms and the pressings and the wigs and the braids. And it's like we can't just enjoy it the way that it comes out of our head, because we've been taught
Conditioned.
that. Yes, exactly.
We've been conditioned that.
That's right.
And I think that's what we really have to get back to with ourselves and with our children. Learn to love yourself. Your you is beautiful. You're beautiful just the way you are, because God didn't make no mistakes when He created any of us.
Right.
He didn't make a mistake.
Yeah.
What do you say, Lamar?
I researched that the nappier your hair is, the better.
Oprah hair.
It's the other way around. The nappy hair is the good hair, and
It's strong.
Huh?
It's stronger.
Yeah.
It's like you can do more with it, actually.
Yeah, and also it has a science behind it too. The way it coils with the universe, and it's yeah.
You
Yeah.
better, just like with the locks, honey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I want to lock my hair. I ain't gonna lie.
It's the good, like that. That's the tough hair is like the only hair that you could do everything with.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You can make it a Brillo pad and everything.
Yeah.
So Terry,
Little humor. I'm joking.
where can we find you, Terry?
It protects your scalp too.
Get that
Terry
vitamin D.
Yeah, exactly. Terry Marshall on Facebook, and also Terry Time 2 on Instagram.
Cameron?
Cameron Kimball on Facebook. Cameron Elaine on IG.
More.
What's happening? You can catch me every Monday. Have something new every Monday here or on FB. Lamar Maurice. Thanks for tuning in.
And y'all, hold on, we're gonna come back to
Miss Melanie.
Okay.
So I can be found here every Monday from 7 to 8 on Switchplay TV. Also, on Sunday I engineer, so you'll hear me behind the scenes on Sundays. Also on Facebook at Nicole Nelms and on Instagram at Nikki Boss Lady. On TikTok it's Lady Melody, y'all. But also thank you for our viewers that are watching. Thank you, Groove Radio. And Lamar,
Yeah.
take us home.
Thank you for tuning in to the Lamar Show, and we'll see y'all next Monday. It's gonna be called the other show next Monday, y'all. So we'll see you there.
Yeah, we're going to have part
Peace.
2 of the men show next week.
Oh,
So
that's gonna
the
be
fun
we're
good.
going to see
one.
y'all
That's
next
the fun
week.
Talking
one.
about that submission and stuff.
Yeah. See you all.
Yeah, pero yeah. Pull. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah.